A few weeks ago, I was driving to work and I decided it might be a good time to listen to something motivational because I wasn't feeling like myself. I didn't want to show up for work on that day. Let's be honest, going to work is cool and all, but staying at home, fantastic. So I'm driving, scrolling on YouTube like a responsible adult, trying to settle on something to listen to for the 25-minute ride. And I finally settled on a video. It's a Jim Rohn's video. Now I click on it, despite the gray, dull thumbnail that makes me feel like I'm being transported to the 80s. I'm like, maybe it's time for me to get some wisdom in my life because lately I have not been doing well. Every time I click on his videos, it's like I get a lot of insight. Personally, Jim Rohn's videos are not just the motivational, yes, you can do it type of videos. You better be seated down listening with a pen and paper, carefully writing down the important things because he's going to be dropping some wisdom. So yes, it's pretty much motivation, but motivation with some homework. So begrudgingly, I still play the video. And as I kept driving, I kept getting into it more because the topic was not work harder, you got this. It was about reclaiming your mornings. Here's the funny part. Reclaiming your mornings is not a completely new idea in the self-development or self-help category. Every creator and their grandmother have ventured into reclaiming your mornings and have said the same thing. Wake up early, own your mornings, take a cold plunge, drink tea, do not talk to anybody, just work in the morning. And I've heard about the idea of reclaiming your mornings before, and I've tried it for about 2.5 days. But this time when I listen to it again, it just hits me differently. Listening to this Jim Rohn's video made me just absorb something new and ask myself questions that I hadn't asked myself before, like, why does the same advice sound like nothing the first time you listen to it? But then on another random day, at the perfect moment, the next time where you listen to that idea feels like you listened to your destiny compared to the first time when you heard it. This question led me into a deep rabbit hole of me trying to look for ideas and ways to answer it, and I finally found some answers, and this is what I found out. It starts with the brain. So the first time you hear an idea, especially from someone that you respect, your brain lights up. Not because you're suddenly disciplined, no, it's because this is a new concept to you. And let's be honest, our brains love new information. I don't mean that our brains go out seeking new information, but when something new is presented to our brains get excited because it's out of the norm. That's why we constantly keep scrolling on YouTube and Instagram, trying to seek out the next new information that we haven't seen before. I'll get into that rabbit hole later. That wow feeling of getting new information, that is called dopamine. Dopamine is our brain's reward system saying, yes, this is the key, this will fix your life. And so you get inspired and tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. And when tomorrow comes, I'm changing my whole life. Nobody's gonna recognize me anymore. Wait for it, haters. And tomorrow, when it's time to wake up and execute, the bed feels a little bit warmer than usual. And you feel like, I deserve some rest. I can start another day. Let me just take this day to absorb that information again. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna start with a bang. I deserve some rest. I've been through a lot. All these things that our brain tells us, we agree to it at this point because truthfully, the bed is warm, and yes, you've been through a lot, and yes, you deserve some rest. You also deserve to execute that new idea that you just ran into. And let's just say you end up not executing that idea because you're not lazy, but it's because of our brains. Here's why that happens. So the first time you heard that message, your brain started building a new mental pathway. It's like a small, tiny dirt road for the idea. But the problem is, it is still under construction. So when you hear the same piece of advice the second, third, fourth, fifth time, your brain goes, yeah, we know this already. This is what we call familiarity bias. And because this is not new information anymore, you don't get the dopamine hit that you got the first time when you heard it. So then what was supposed to be a life-changing advice turns into background noise. You know it, but you still don't do it. This is what psychologists call passive knowledge. And we all suffer from it. We collect information like trophies every day, saving that video, writing that down, but we don't change. Why does this happen? It's not that the advice was bad, it's just that your emotional state is not ready for it. Think of advice like a seed. Even the best seed will not grow if your life is chaos, your brain is tired, and your motivation is hanging on by a thread. So, the life-changing message does not work. It doesn't work because you're not in the season where the idea can grow. But then eventually, down the road, you listen to that advice again. out of the blues, or someone mentions it, or whatever circumstances align for you to listen to that idea again. But this time, maybe you've just gone through a breakup, or it was just a perfect sunny day, or let's just say things aligned for you that day or that moment. Or maybe you hit rock bottom where you're tired of your old habits, you're tired of scrolling, tired of being left behind, tired of being lazy. Or maybe you wake up and realize, I've been saying for 6 years that I'm gonna change, but I haven't changed. That's the story of my life. But this time, when you hear that idea, that information, it doesn't sound like motivation. It sounds like a personal attack. It sounds like you were meant to hear that message. And I'm sure you guessed it right. By this point, your brain has built enough tiny pathways, they're called neural pathways. You have enough connections, you've lived enough experiences, and your emotions finally give you what psychologists say activation energy. Activation energy is the minimum energy that is required for you to move. So all this time, the message didn't change. It is you that changed. And this leads back to Jim Rohn's video. As the video kept going when I was driving, this point was made clear. The first hour of the day needs to belong to you selfishly. I don't care if you have a family, I don't care what's going on. It doesn't have to be the first hour, but it has to be the first 30 minutes, the first 20 minutes. It needs to belong selfishly to you. Not your job, not your phone, not scrolling. Belongs to you and your goals. And that hit me because I realized that every hour of the day is basically taken. Work takes hours, everything takes your time. Where do you get time for yourself in your day? Just the first hour of the morning. And then when I really thought about it, if you spend an hour a day, at the end of the year, you're gonna have about 350 hours, which is about 2 months of your own self-development time. And this comes from just protecting 1 hour. By the end of the video, I was convinced of this idea of reclaiming your mornings by spending an hour. Until I heard Jim Rohn say something very interesting. Jim Rohn in the video started talking about how to reclaim your 2025, how it's gonna be a great year, or things are gonna be amazing. And I was like, wait a minute. 2025? When did Jim Rohn pass away? It was all an AI video. I was convinced to change my life by an AI video. And suddenly I had a mini existential crisis. Do I ignore this idea because it's not from Jim Rohn himself? Or do I follow through because it's really a solid piece of advice? At this point, I realized that it was my brain that was trying to complicate things and make me feel like implementing this idea would sound awkward or would be awkward because it didn't come from Jim Rohn himself. But I had to remind myself that my brain is trying to protect me from doing something hard in order for me to change my life. So I begrudgingly decided to implement this idea because, let's be honest, the truth about reclaiming your mornings has been told over and over again by multiple people. So it was still a solid idea at the end of the day, because the truth is truth, no matter who says it. So the next morning, it was time for me to implement this idea. The alarm clock went off, I woke up, and instinctively, I reached out for my phone. The pull was very strong. It was not easy. We've been trained to grab our phones instinctively as though it's oxygen. These apps are designed to pull you in by the most creative people, the smartest people in the whole world. This is what you're up against. They're all built like slot machines, infinite scrolling, creative titles, amazing things that can just push you or plunge you into this world forever. I tried so hard to fight the instinct to grab my phone, and I did win for 45 minutes only. But these 45 minutes, they were like the best time I've had in a long time. I felt like I got my brain back. I was working, I was focused, I was at peace. Everything felt great. I had the chance to script this video, shoot it. I felt like my whole world was going to be set up for success. While the whole time I had been saying, I don't have time, I'm too busy, I have this and that. But reclaiming the first hour of the day, this is a game changer. You have to try it, you have to do it. So if you're like me, lazy but ambitious, this is the move. Do 15 minutes only, or 30 minutes if you can. You gotta protect the first hour like you're protecting your last brain cell. Because really, you are. And don't try to be perfect. No, if you slip up, don't give up.
If you slip up, don't give up.
But small things done daily lead to huge, amazing things. And if you hear advice multiple times and you don't really pull through with it, don't hate yourself. Understand that you require a certain moment in your life whereby that advice will change you. So keep listening, keep focusing, keep doing, and then that light bulb is gonna go off one day. But I think it's a good idea to create an environment whereby the light bulb can go off. And that's not through scrolling social media, no, by giving yourself an opportunity in a quiet space every moment you can in a day, maybe 2-3 minutes to be in quiet and just to be in your own thoughts, listening to something, meditating, in the shower. I feel like that's when you get your best moments. That's when you get your best ideas, your best thoughts. So don't feel late, just keep going. And growth, it doesn't happen overnight. It is a mountain that you climb morning by morning. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comment section below and how you're going to reclaim your mornings moving forward. If you liked this video, you're gonna love this video that I did a while back. It's gonna be up here. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't. And we're gonna keep learning and changing our lives one moment at a time, one step at a time. See you next time.